Hi guys, it seems to be in the last weeks of development new stuff. Pentium is a new desktop, Berry is a new one, Worm is a new one. What you see here is on the ISO builder, it's CHA DWM, it's here. And I'll make another video tutorial about how to create Hypr. So another one, right? 4 or 5 new ones, Hypr. And we're gonna make a tutorial how this is achieved. How do we create all these ISOs? And it's not that difficult once you see a few videos of what we put online on YouTube, which is part of how to build an ISO, right? How to create ArcoLinuxB ISOs, how to go from scratch, which is Kali, ArcoLinuxISO.com. There's ALCI, there's so much knowledge shared for you to become, maybe, who knows, a distro builder, making your own ISOs. Okay, so we'll watch CHDWM. So this is what I'm working currently on. So it's a DWM fork. It has been tweaked a little bit, not much, by me, so that I have my icons and all that. Some more workspaces up here. But Hypr is the thing, right? So Control Alt G. I'm a key binding guy. You need to become one as well. They all work also in XFCE and in Plasma and in Mate and stuff like that. So Hypr GitHub is where I go. This is what we want to install, right? All the problems and questions, please direct them here. Make an account, sign up, ask issues like I do, like anybody does. Eric Dubois is here, Eric Dubois is here. Stuff that still needs to be figured out. But how do I create everything, right? Hypr. Now everything is ready in the sense that what we've skipped, the part that we've skipped, is make a package. There is a package, it's ready, it's ours. It's not the one from the AOR. Yes, it's the one from the AOR, but it's ours, right? And the other one is the configuration. So often there is a file, well, a package with the configuration, and the other one is the application. So yes, check. Those two are available. And then it's business as usual for me anyway. It means I need to go to Control Alt F. I'm gonna remove everything except other tabs. So we're on the ArcoLinux GitHub. I'm signed in and I have repositories. Let me think. What we need is the, let's do the B first. Well, the D or the B. The work needs to be done, right? So the D is the easiest one. So with all these guys already here, what we don't have is an Arco Hypr, right? So not there. Okay, cool. Control C, create new repository, make sure it's public, and then done. Next thing I do is go to ArcoLinuxD. I have this git, this script that's gonna get all the stuff. GH Hypr should come here alphabetically. Hypr. Save. Then it gets everything that's online, which is nothing, not for Hypr, and all the rest is gonna skip it. So Hypr is now here. Just gonna copy paste this one from i3, Control A, Control Z, and then Hypr, Control V. We have README that we should change. It's gonna be Hypr, and all the rest can stay. Control S, done. Now i3 and Hypr are something different, right? So what do we need for i3? This and this and that and that. i3 gaps. So we need Hypr dev git, and we need ArcoLinux Hypr git. That's it, right? That's it. Hypr. We need polybar as well. Anything else? We need roofie. Save. ArcoLinux logout is there, so we can log out. That's it. Well, if anything is forgotten, we just push it to the internet again, right? So we do a setup, a very easy way. So copy paste my setup credentials, but change them, of course. An easy way to just go about my business. And this is the first commit. It's always the same. They've changed from master to main. Why did they do that? All the scripts, all the old scripts need to be changed. And it's online. Done. That's one thing that's created. So the Arco Hypr ArcoLinux D, if you start with the ArcoLinux D ISO and you say, I'm going to go for a base installation, black screen, and then you start installing all these packages, and bit by bit, not all at the same time. Like this one, for example, we can have a look if there's something in that we can throw out, like termite themes. Termite is now for us a goner, more or less. Alacrity is replacing it, so that's better that it's not there. And hope it goes, right? Done. You have it. You can download it, you can install it. Next up, ArcoLinuxB. Let's create an ISO. So the ArcoLinuxB is another website. Let's quickly have a look here. So everything is online. You just zip it, git clone it. Done. ArcoLinuxB. And with repositories, new repository, Arco Hypr, public, create repository. Then we go to here, get all ArcoLinuxBs, Hypr, so Arco Hypr, save. We're gonna get that one in. Welcome, thank you. All right, so Hypr is now here. I'll use i3, why not? Control A, Control C, Control V, Git, not this time, main, Control save, quit, the README, Hypr, and it's gonna be at Hypr, stop, that's it. So that's already that. Installation scripts, of course, no, not that one, sorry. Well, yeah, we need to do it anyway. So it's called i3, no, it's called Hypr, and the desktop is Hypr. Save, stop. Then you can make a compare, which is a little bit faster. Click up and save. So that's done. With when we built the ISO, it's going to be called ArcoLinux Hypr. The Arch ISO is not okay, right? So super F all the way down. Polybar is good, and Hypr dev git needs to be added. And then it's always a matter, where will I put the lines, right? All the ISOs, all the configurations have the same order. You will find everywhere i3 status on line 809 in all of them. So that's a little bit, yeah, different. Normally I would just say, let's add here ArcoLinux Hypr git and the ArcoLinux Calamares, which I still have to make. And that's it. That constitutes for me Hypr. So one, the application, the configuration, and Calamares. 3 packages. That's it. But like I said, this is gonna be a little bit, feels more complex, but it's not, right? I'm gonna move my ISOs, these guys. I'm gonna move these guys momentarily for a moment in the ArcoLinuxB folder. So these are all the ISOs, all the GitHubs we share. 40 ways to build ISOs. Okay. Now I would like to see the Hypr packages. That's one. And I'd like to see the, I want to add the line after what? And let's have a look. ArcoLinux, the configuration of the desktop folder. Here it is. So Hypr, alphabetically, it's behind Herbstluft, right? So Control C. I want to have ArcoLinux Hypr Git everywhere with an hashtag, and just in Hypr without an hashtag. Okay. So add line after is this thing. Find this there and do this and that. Let's just make this big. You pause the video. That's it. Okay. So this one I don't need. This one is there for testing. I want to add a line after what? This. And what will I be adding? I will be adding ArcoLinux Hypr Git. Check. No typos, otherwise it's wasted time again fixing the typos. And then we have here Hypr Git. So everywhere is has an extra line, Hypr Git. AG Hypr. All the configurations everywhere is line 590. You see? It's always 590. And that's easy, because I want to say from all the these 40 ISOs, delete line 400, it will be the same everywhere. Right? Otherwise it's 40 times opening of a file and going to the editor, deleting line 400. No, thank you very much. Now we can maybe better stick around here. So this is the Hypr that's open. So no i3, yes to Hypr. Now there's more to do. I need to make the Calamares as well. So that's the configuration that I've added. The color version, behind here is the application, and now we need to find the Herbstluft Git, this guy, Control C, and then we're gonna go for add line after. After this line, you're gonna add, hashtag ArcoB, hashtag ArcoB, that's the name it's gonna be, calamares.config/hypr/git, only mine is git. Typos, I'm not fond of typos, and I do make them. Voila. Where is that? Yes, here it is. So this one I want, and i3 is out. Wow, we're done. Are we done? We have an application, a configuration, and Calamares. We're done. Now, what I do next is move everything back to the normal place. So this one, that one, no, that one till that one, left WM, and okay. We're gonna cut this and put it back to the ArcoLinux ISO. These are the core ISOs, right? And the others are the B. Here I can say to the system, push already those changes on board. So Hypr packages, and you'll see that everywhere, if we have a look, these 3 lines have been added. Well, this one as well, but that's before the video. So that's CHADWM. So these two guys we've done. And everything is now put online, but there's a hashtag in front of it, so it's not used. It will be only used in the guy of Hypr. These guys as well. Voilà. That's done. This guy is still busy. Now I need to make an Calamares package. So I should go to this one. And they have also a naming convention, ArcoLinux. From big to small, easy. Arco is big, Calamares is the application, the configuration is a part of it, and this one is for Hypr. Have not created it yet. So, new, public, create, back to this one. This one needs Arco Hypr, needs to be Arco Hypr, this guy, wants the credentials to be set up. Now he knows what his credentials are. So when I do Ctrl+C here, it stops, and I'll just ask it again. The first bit, 10 or so, is just done. Nothing changed, right? When it gets to Hypr, it will put it online. Now I don't know where I was. So Arco Calamares config Hypr. We need to go to the Calamares. And in here we have also Herbstluft. Yep, this one. Ctrl+V. Hypr. Save. Then we're gonna get them. Typos. Let's see. Arco B. All right. Arco B. Rename. Yeah. Again. Voila. I got myself a ArcoLinuxB. Where's Hypr? Here. All right. Let's take the one from i3. README. Hypr, save, stop. Git. Main, save, stop. And then of course in here in the modules, when we are going to remove packages, we don't want to remove i3, we want to remove the Hypr package. We don't want the configuration, well, we don't want the application of Calamares, we don't want the configuration as well staying on your future system, right? So that's okay, that's done. Now, okay, this is done as well. That was a mistake. So, the Calamares Hypr. What you can do is, and that's the fun of course, if you have more than one thing, you can actually compare between these things. You see? And then you see, what makes the difference between one and the other is definitely the executable to start up each and one of them of the desktops. Oops. So super F, voila. I typed in super D as well, super D, I think. Enfin. So that's done, but there is more. That was too soon. Let me put this one on the other screen. Oh, wrong thing. This on the other screen and that one over here. What's also different that's done is of course the Herbstluft WM, i3 anywhere in Hypr, and i3 anywhere in i3. So it's pointing to a place online, and the online bit is wrong. So this has to be Hypr, save. Now you can also do this with a script. Last time I did it with a script. Control Z, Control S, save, right? Ooh, I better do a control paste. So Control C, Control save. So that's the advantage of the way we do things in the net install. When you launch the application, or Calamares, in your system, is going to grab the new code from online. So if I found a new font and I want to share it, I want to be able to, that you can install it, then this is the way. So even old ISOs a year ago have the last configurations in net install, just net install, nothing more, but also nothing less. Like for instance, Atom at some point in time stopped existing. It was on our choice, on our list. I just push online without Atom. You go and download from the internet, and Atom is gone. So it's not only for adding stuff, but also for removing stuff. Almost there. And here we have the same thing. So there are 3 files like that, where we try to remove Calamares configuration. That one is done. And the README is super unimportant if you forget that one. And the Git is now main. That's it. Woohoo! Then we put it online. So it always is a procedure. First this, first that, then this. They can't package something if it's not online. So there it goes. First commit. Credentials, forgot it. Setup. Logic dictates, right? The words are still in the air. First commit. A proper sequence. That's online. Then I'm gonna make a package build for Calamares. i3 is here, sure, why not? And then that as a basis, Hypr, and then you look like this. Or like this is maybe enough. Compare. And then you say, okay, this i3 thing should be should be Hypr, and this i3 should be Hypr, and all the rest is variables. This one is pointing to there, and so on. So I don't have to think beyond a few lines at the top. It stops, right? Everything points to the top. Done. I've built myself something, and then save. So this one is the package build. Hypr, okay, and then we built that one. Time 24 minutes. It's now on the repo, well, on my repo, and it is now on your repo. In the meantime, I can go to ArcoLinuxB. I was just thinking, but do it later. ArcoLinuxB. Here is Hypr. Hypr is online. Installation scripts. I definitely need to tile this differently. I've pushed some kind of key binding, which just wasn't the wrong thing to close. For 40. Voila. While that's building, let's investigate the CHDWM thingy, which is gonna be in Sublime Text. Right. So in here somewhere is a key binding to make everything look horizontal and vertical. Okay, horizontal. I can do this and I can do that, but that's not what I want. This has nothing to do with what I'm looking at now with the job at hand, right? It's just me finding the code to tile this horizontal or vertical. It has to be in here somewhere. B-stack horizontal. Horizontal grids. That's something already. It's not what I want. A lot of gaps, default gaps, set layout, Super T should actually for us something else. Super F, full screen. That's something we use. Super M, Super M is what I want, and Super T, M and T. Okay, figured it out. So it's all in the code. Always read the code and then test. Okay, T and M. I have to remember that. Okay, we're building our ISO in the meantime. And it's 27 minutes to build an ISO. Of course, prior to this, I've built a Hypr package, but hey, that's an AOR package, which I modified a little bit. Did I? Yeah, a little bit, the name. The rest is, of course, longer, right? Making a configuration, and it has been explained already on YouTube, ArcoLinux Hypr. I try to make a video how to start exploring a new tiling manager as 1 hour of watching, and it shows the struggles you have if you never installed Hypr, like I had never installed it. Then you need several things, and you need to be able to do something. If it boots up a tiling with a manager, you need to have a terminal, a text editor, melt, I would say, and you need to be able to quit it and maybe reload, and that's about it. If I can do that, from then on I can work efficiently. But before we get there, before you know what to do, what key bindings to test, touch, and what applications to actually have installed to be able to have a terminal and a file manager and so on, yeah, you have to figure it out, and that's in that video. So I'll better pause, although if we pause then we don't know how long it takes. So we're now 30 minutes in the video, but I'll pause anyway. Time is not that important. All right, time to test. So you got an ISO 2.2. Here it says where you can find it, and then it's Super F7 VirtualBox is launched. You clone something. That's anyway how I do it, so I don't have to remember or set all these settings again and again and again. And then we go to the ArcoLinuxB out, and we have Hypr here, and we start it. Yep, okay. Just lazy. This is UEFI setting, right? Always the same drill. This is open source. Sometimes Nouveau doesn't work nice with some laptops and machines, so this is open source without the Nouveau driver. This is the NVIDIA proprietary driver, but sometimes it doesn't work with the Nouveau graphics, so voila. Those are the choices, and this is when everything else fails. First line, good for VirtualBox. This QMuter line there and it fails because this is not QMu, it's VirtualBox. So never mind, right? Just it's there if you want to use QMu instead of VirtualBox. Comes directly from ArcoLinux, by the way. So this is it, right? All right, cool. Easy installation. Not much choice. Great, easy will always work. Easy means it will work, and advanced might not work depending on the servers and the keys, bindings, and other keys that are wrong, etc., etc. I'm pressing all kind of buttons. Super Q quits things. Now I'm still on QWERTY, so I do actually Super A. Right? So think about what you're on and where your Q might be. So this is all stuff that I'm not gonna install. So I better could have taken the other one, but doesn't matter. Belgium. So I need to have my AZERTY. No choice. Next, install, done. Now we wait again. We can have a look at, now we're gonna wait and pause and we'll reboot. And then the moment comes, and then it says restart. And then you boot up. And we have liftoff. But we need to solve some things, right? This is i3. So whatever happened, somewhere in there has to be i3. And right? We forgot something. We must have. So Super X, not responding, Super X. Yeah, that's the default one. It's the default i3 that's now installed. Have a look at it. This is it. Default look. But of course, that's not what I want, right? So we did something wrong. Big Hill i3. Buy i3. So why is i3 on my Hypr? Good question. Very good question. So this is what we need to have. And we can have a look at that. Why am I seeing this? Super X. It's not working either. There, it's working. All right, got it. Why is it saying Eric? Right? Shut down. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? So that's Hypr, fine. Then we run this thing. Enter. Yeah, okay. Whoa, sorry. Wow, my mind is all mingled up. Okay, got it. Okay. Then I need to quit this thing again. Control F. Machine shut down. Bye. What the hell, right? What the hell? ArcoLinuxB. Did I forget to delete? Of course I forgot to delete. One of the things that's easy is compare these two guys, for example. When I compare these two guys, nothing will happen. But if I compare these two guys, it will show i3 is still in there. So that's would have been better. So ArcoLinux Hypr, cool. Next one. Hypr, sure. i3. It's fun to copy paste, but, right? But, I don't know which one to take. We'll always can decide later on which one is better. Alex Appearance, GTK, there's an OB, and so on. Let's just keep that one. That's better, right? I have to start all over again. So first, save. And this is different because of the name. Check. And check. And build again. It's always like that. Always forget something. Oh, there you go. And then let's pause the video again. Alright, it's time to play again. So the new ISO is out. It's still making all the checksums. And there we are. Okay, bye for you. Super F7. Oh, that's not Super 7. Super F7. Now we go to Hypr at the bottom. That's of course still correct. And then watch out what we do. We need to go to, too late. We need to go to UEFI firmware settings. Boot manager, UEFI. This is booting from the ISO. And hopefully i3 is gone. That's the last line we see. Simple display manager SEDM action. Now the Hypr has two solutions. Hypr has a menu that looks completely different, and this is Polybar, right? Polybar, for the guys who are already familiar with LeftWM, they'll recognize the DB Nemesis. So I just said, okay, let's take that, and then you see change background in behind here, the wallpaper changes. So I'm gonna go for an easy installation. That will always work. We've just built it. I mean, there's no difference in packages whatsoever. Quitting things is super Q, and the Q in my case is still an A because it's QWERTY AZERTY, right? So next, erase disk, sure, go ahead, and we go for the common settings like this. Install, and then we wait again. Let's pause the video here again, and then suddenly there's the moment again. All right, let's sit straight. What do we get? In other videos we can get a little bit more technical about the desktop here, but let's just point you already in the direction. What I do is Super Shift Enter. There are a few things to remember on a tiling window manager. Super Shift Enter. Super Enter. You got a terminal, you got a file manager, and yes, it's a cool effect, right? So Super Shift Q, that's not working. Super Shift Q should be quit. And sudo pacman -s that we forget to get. No, the sexy hotkey daemon is installed, so there's no reason why the key bindings should not work. Anyway, figure it out later. So let me finish my sentence. So super enter, super shift enter, super X log out, and super shift D to launch Firefox and have a look at what's on the internet, right? So those are the important things. Okay, then let's have a look. So this Q thing, was this a problem, the super shift Q? Because I've now 5 different tiling window managers developed the last weeks. Hypr, let's have a look. This, what I'm doing now, is super escape, right? Super escape is this, depending on the icon, it's a red skull or it's a cross, and I can kill things with it, close things with it. Well, actually, kill, right? Super shift enter, Control H. I put the config here, one thing. Then I put everything that I think is important here, so I can quickly address it. Super shift, maybe another thing you should do is install Sublime Text. Sudo pacman -s Sublime Text, or anything that you like that can save also in the protected part of your system, right? In this case, the terminal exit, gone. Then Sublime is there, next to each other. Grab the complete Hypr, put it in there. This is what you do. You sit down now and you go read everything. So system information, Python information, launch. So that's the polybar up here. Hypr configuration, save. So this is the file, right? Hyperconf is the heart of the desktop, and each time you save this thing, everything gets reloaded. Okay, so we've got here the menu, change the background, with Firefox that we can launch, Discord, Telegram, what was this again? I'm not using that too much, I guess. Oh yeah, USB image creator, so my Mint stick, wow. Flameshot, Calendar, Gcal, OneDrive is called InSync. This is simple screen recorder, and that's Vivaldi. Okay, that was the shortcuts. But Ctrl-Alt-V, if Vivaldi is installed, will launch it as well. Now, Ctrl-Shift-Escape. What's happening with my keys? It's launched. That's one thing. Am I Azerty? I am Azerty, so that's not, it works again. Super Q, Super Q, Super Q, they work again. Super Q and Super Shift Q. Whatever glitch it was, that works again. Let me show you the menu that was by default. So enabled the bar. The default bar is gonna look like this. And it's still up to debate what's best. We'll see. So this is the other bar. The polybar at this point in time is behind it. So I'll say KP, kill polybar. And now this is the look. Alt N if variety is installed, not sure. Yep, it is installed. So this is Control T, we go to Super 2, open there something, go open to Super 3, open there something. Super 4 is here, Super, and then maybe Control Alt F, Firefox is there, and so on. You can't click on these guys, but you can go to these guys. Super 1, 2, 3, 4. If I like this one to be on workspace 1, then I do this. Super Shift 1, which is pretty much the default everywhere, right? So 2, 3, unclickable, use your keyboard. There are no system icons, so we're missing Discord, Telegram, Network Manager, Bluetooth, Variety, stuff like that. Not all is missing, since Variety is just a Super N, and we've got the next, sorry, Alt N, we've got the next wallpaper. So these things are there. Bluetooth, we don't miss it either. It's just go to Blueberry Tray or Blueberry. I think this one in VirtualBox doesn't make sense. PAMAC is there. PAMAC is Ctrl-Alt-P. It's there. We do not need an icon up there, and we update anyway like this. So just for searching packages. So there you go. Voila, I'm gonna leave it at that. We've created a video how to create an ArcoLinuxB Hypr, and I hope it's helpful to the guys who decide to make their own distros. Compare is all I can say. Everything is online. Calamares configurations are online of ArcoLinux, of ALCI, of Carly. Put them all together and you have everything you have to figure it out. All right, enjoy.